proud to call this man a friend. I got to meet him many, many moons ago. He's made several appearances here on the Rich Eisen Show in our 6-year history. He was even on our podcast back in the NFL Media Group days. And the actor and author and stage performer is now a podcaster. He's got a new podcast that is available where all podcasts can be gotten called Literally with Rob Lowe. Rob Lowe here on the Rich Eisen Show. How are you, Rob?
I'm literally here with you on the show.
You are, in fact, doing that. Did I say the title correctly? Because there is an exclamation point in the title, and I don't know if it's silent or it is like the comma in Murder.
No,
she
it
wrote.
Is.
Like
I'm very pro exclamation points.
Okay.
Almost every sentence I say has an exclamation point at the end of it.
Yes, right there. I picked it up. Literally with Rob Lowe. Why the pod, Rob? Where did this come from?
You know what? I've always liked long form interviews. You and I get to do them.
Yep.
I enjoy being on them, and I have such a long history with interesting people that I thought there'd be some value in me talking to people that I'm going to be able to know things about them because of our shared history that others are never going to know. Like Magic Johnson is my next guest.
Fantastic.
Next week. Right now, the podcast that's out is with Chris Pratt, who I've known since he was, chubby Andy Dwyer on Parks and Rec, and then became ripped, shredded movie star man. So my perspective on my relationship with him is very, very different than others. With Magic, I can be like, dude, do you remember when Riley banished me from traveling with the team? And he'll be like, hey, you're not going to get those kind of talks with celebrities unless I'm doing the talking.
Okay, so now the Riley would be Pat, I assume.
That would be slick Pat Riley.
Okay, so unpack this story for me, Rob. I know I don't want to give away too much that's on Literally with Rob Lowe, but he banned you from traveling with the team?
Yeah, and what was so great about this is because I know my side of the story, but I don't know Magic's side of the story. Like, I didn't even know if he was aware of it, or maybe he caused it. Maybe, for all I knew, he was like, get that guy out of here. I just don't know. So I asked him, and he started laughing, and he said, oh, absolutely, I remember it well. Riley didn't want any distractions.
You're right.
In those days, I was kind of teen idol time, so wherever I went was like a posse of young fans. And but here's the part I didn't know.
Yes.
That Magic told me is,
yes.
They wouldn't even let our married players' wives come to the hotel, so they made you go stay at that hotel. I'm like, wait a minute. Me staying with the wives doesn't sound like a good plan either.
Oh man! So how did you get to? How did you come about to travel with the Lakers to begin with, though, Rob?
Well, at that point in my life, I was single. I was in my early 20s, and huge sports fan.
Right.
And I would, do movies, and then in my time off, I had the time, and I loved the game so much. So. I had season seats and all of that, but I only really went on the road for the playoffs. But that was the best. That's when you wanted to go on the road.
Well, I mean, Riley wants to tighten the rotation in the playoffs, Rob. I'm sure you've seen Pat since many times, I imagine.
Oh
right?
yeah, he's just there's nobody like him.
There isn't.
I pointed out to Magic also on the podcast that the Lakers are known for having a coach who never sat down. Because Pat never took a seat ever in any game he ever coached. Never, not once. To going to a coach who never stood up.
It's in Phil Jackson, right? Because when Phil would have to unfold himself to stand up.
It took him 10 minutes.
Phil's kind of, he's got a lot of moving parts when he just walks around and stands up, but that's right. Riley never sat.
Never. Not once. He had that great kind of Riley squat that I think David Caruso stole in CSI Miami. Like, if you ever watch CSI Miami and David Caruso comes into a crime scene, he's doing the Pat Riley squat.
Rob, for our Super Bowl this year, which was in Miami, for our Super Bowl Open, I played the David Caruso character with a red wig and all I will send you. I will send you the photographs and even one of the show opens that I did.
Oh, please.
Where I did at one point. We actually even got Rex Lynn to reprise his character.
No way.
As well, yes. And part of the open was, with the whole, music and everything, was me getting down, squatting down like David Caruso and standing over a first down marker to see if it was a first down with a football. And also using forceps to pick up a yellow flag and bag it like it was something from a crime scene.
What was your one-liner though?
Oh, just all of them. I don't remember anything specifically, but they all were done when delivering them. Putting the glasses on. That was the Caruso move. It wasn't taking the glasses off and delivering the line. It was the glasses on.
I think. I hopefully they said, Captain, do you think it's a first down? And you do your squat, and he goes, and it's not the only thing that's going down. And then you play the music.
But me being a 50-year-old man, I did need, on occasion, help getting up, to be very honest with you, because he really went down. I mean, the squat, he did get the squat.
He stole it from Riley. I'm just telling you. He stole it from Pat Riley.
Rob Lowe here on the Rich Eisen Show. Anything else that you chatted up with Magic that you want to tease?
I have a really great lineup coming in. Gwyneth Paltrow I think is going to be the next guest.
Okay.
And my wife and I have known Gwyneth since she was an 18-year-old staying in our guest bedroom, meeting with agents.
Huh.
So
now, were you like friendly with Blythe Danner, with her mom, and her
friendly with her mom and her dad, Bruce Paltrow,
of course.
And here's a little factoid.
Yes.
That Mike Myers, also a guest coming up, who does not do a lot of podcasts, so it's great to have the comic genius Mike Myers, talks about how he based his character of the Cat in the Hat on Gwyneth's dad, Bruce Paltrow, which is the most random.
Oh gosh.
Choice. Yeah, so if you ever watch The Cat in the Hat, he's literally, hence my title, he's literally doing Bruce Paltrow.
Okay, so you got that connection right there. And again, just reading I mentioned you as an author to introduce you. Stories I Only Tell My Friends, an autobiography, is truly a must-read. The stories that you have and the people that you have come across in your career, Rob, and also growing up, is a Charlie Sheen appearance in the offing for you?
He could be in an off. That would be an entire season of episodes.
Literally,
that would be. I mean, you would have to go to Apple, Spotify, and just you'd have to reserve 10 more future seasons.
And then what about Tom Cruise? Can we get Tom on?
Yeah, no, they're all in the mix for sure.
Okay,
it's been a very eclectic group, and it's been way more fun than I thought it would be, and I thought it would be fun to begin with, or I wouldn't have done it in the first place. It has been. I mean, I'm envious of what you get to do. You're a curious dude. You're smart and you're funny.
Thanks,
and every day you get to talk to people and have interesting conversations. It's been great. I may give it up. I may never act again, and I know there'll be a lot of people happy about that. But, I may just be doing my podcast.
What would Cruise call your pod? Would he call it I Did Lowe? I mean, did the Rob? What would we do? What would he say?
The story you're alluding to is that Tom famously shortened the titles of all of his movies, and I thought it was the coolest thing ever as a young actor. Like, he did a movie called All the Right Moves, football player, right? And he was like, yeah, man, I had to do a lot of training when I did moves. And I always thought that...
Like, what?
I always thought that was really, really cool. But then when he did short title movies, it was a little more awkward. Like when he did Cocktail.
Yeah, that would be a conundrum. That would be somewhat of a conundrum. No doubt about that.
You don't have a lot of both choices are bad.
Oh my gosh! So I guess he would do Lowe, or he'd do.
I did Lit.
I did Lit. I did Lit.
Yeah,
I did Lit.
Lowe's got a podcast. It's Lit.
It's Lit. Yeah, you did Lit. Oh man. I would be remiss if I did not ask you about St. Elmo's Fire, sir. Since Joel Schumacher, the director of this film, passed away. What was that, earlier this week?
It was earlier this week. What a life he had. What an amazing... He started out as literally a junkie on the streets of New York, and then designed the windows at Macy's department store, and then into production design and writing and directing, and then making some of the most iconic movies, of his era. And he was really responsible for a big uptick in my career, because that part of Billy in St. Elmo's Fire was something that people really gravitated to, and no one wanted me to play that part except Joel. Everybody thought I should play the Judd Nelson part of the sort of yuppie square.
Uh-huh.
And I wanted to play Billy because it's about her part. And they didn't believe I could be a bad boy, so I remember showing up with a six-pack at the meeting with Joel and just drinking it, and just getting hammered in the middle of the meeting. And next thing you know, I got the part.
Come on, that's how you proved?
Amazing.
You just brought a six, and then
I brought a sixer in, and it was quite funny. Those were the days, man. Those are when you could have a good excuse for your alcoholism. It was really great. I loved it.
Now, is this the time when you were barred from traveling with the Lakers? Was this the Rob Lowe?
Gee, Rich, now that you're calling my attention back to it, the fact that I was showing up to work meetings with a six-pack probably would be indicative of why Pat Riley didn't want me around the team.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, this was 1985.
Yeah. Right in the height, man.
What have you during the quarantine turned on anything that you from your career and you're like, I forgot, or about this, or man, this really brings back memories? Anything that you turned on the TV and you saw something? They've been running a lot of some of the old stuff. A lot of Parks and Rec has been on, which is great. And people are still watching The West Wing. The more the political situation gets crazier, the more people go back to the West Wing for comfort. And The West Wing now plays like a sci-fi movie. It seems so unreal, and it's fun to go back and look at those things. They more than stand up, and I love that I was able to be a part of those too. Well, I'm looking forward to your future episodes of your pod. Your stories are amazing, and this format is perfect for them. So, I can't wait to hear Mike Myers come on. You could tell stories about Powers and World, right? When you did those movies.
When I did Wayne's.
When you did Wayne's,
it would sure be Wayne's.
It should be Wayne's. It wouldn't be. You did Wayne's.
I did Wayne's.
And Powers.
And you know what? It's by the way, I was thinking of Chris Farley and David Spade, and this week is the 25th anniversary of Boy.
No kidding. Are you serious? 25 years since that.
Since Boy came out.
Wow, you're referring. Well, I guess because you can't. Tommy.
If you do Tommy, it's two.
Well, people would also think it might be the movie with the Who. You know what I mean?
I think I was Pete Townsend crashing.
Speaking of which, I had placed in my hand during this conversation by our social media grandmaster, T.J. Jefferson, the lines that I did have as David Caruso in the
hit me with them, please.
Okay. So the concept of the show open was that the Lombardi Trophy had been stolen. Okay, because again, this is for the Super Bowl.
This is the greatest idea ever.
Okay, so here's a line. When Tripp is looking at me, Rex Lynn is looking at me. I say, I find that trophy, Tripp. I'm going to find it because when I play to win.
Oh, so good.
Okay, another one. No Lombardi Trophy, no ball game. That's one. Okay. When we find out two suspects, Tripp, I'm about to bench these guys because this is one whale of a party foul. Okay. The great Colin Hanks played a cameo as the boat captain that was eventually arrested for this heinous crime.
Captain Phillips.
Yeah, so, why did we never put that together? We needed Rob Lowe to connect these dots.
The Hanks family insists on playing boat captain. They can't get enough of it.
That's true. So I looked at Colin, who, by the way, cracked me up. It was very difficult for me to keep a straight face. Don't sail too far from shore, Captain. You're not off the hook yet. Okay. And then when he's finally taken away in handcuffs, this was the last line because it was like an episodic. Each day we were on the air for 5 days. We advanced the plot with a different open each day.
Right.
So this was the way it ended, Rob. That's the as Colin Hanks is being let off by Rex Lynn. That's the end of regulation, Skipper. game over. As I put the glasses on, and that was it. So
the next time I come on your show, I'm going to explain, and this is a true story, that David Caruso told all the writers and producers on that show that his character was actually a ghost.
What? Hold on a second. This can't be a tease for the next experience of the Rob Lowe appearance on the show.
See, I mean, I'm telling you.
What?
Look, if you like these kind of stories, this is why I have a podcast now.
You must literally download it.
Well done.
Oh, come on now.
He's a ghost. Thought he was playing a ghost. That's all I'm going to say.
In CSI Miami, or
and I thought that was like an apocryphal story, like or an urban legend.
Yeah.
And I've since met multiple people, writers, producers who are like, oh yeah, oh no, when you come on the show as a writer, you have to go to David's trailer and get the talk, and he tells you that he's playing that Horatio Caine is a spirit that is there to solve crimes. And just on a practical level, apparently what that meant was he doesn't like to be filmed entering and exiting.
Oh, because he would sashay all over the place.
Yeah, but if you notice, you never go, who's that? Oh, Horatio, it's you. Never.
Rob,
he's a ghost, because ghosts don't need to walk through doors.
No, you're right. Walls doesn't matter.
Wow.
Criminals don't stand a chance against the spirit that is Horatio Caine.
And that's why I like Halloween.
Rob, thanks for the call.
It was great.
Always enjoyed. You take care of yourself. We'll chat soon. Right back at you. Literally with Rob Lowe. That's the latest podcast. Oh, my gosh.
That guy.
Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here